Have you ever wondered why we release dopamine? Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that is produced in a few different areas of the brain, including the hypothalamus. You may have noticed that doing something as simple as catching a ball, shooting a puck, or hitting a tennis ball will release a small dose of dopamine. It makes you feel good. You may have also noticed that sitting back and looking upon something that you have made, a job that you've done, or a task that you've completed will also give you a little boost of dopamine. Exercising releases dopamine. Getting a hug releases dopamine. Dopamine acts almost like doggy treats for humans. They reward us for doing something good, something that we need to do for our survival. Do something good, get a treat. Do something productive, get a treat. Without dopamine, we probably wouldn't produce, create, or build anything, including relationships. Now here's where the problem with gaming addiction comes in. Our central nervous system isn't necessarily so sophisticated that it can distinguish between the real world and the digital world. So when we catch a ball in a video game, we will also experience a small dopamine release. When we clear a level, win a game, or achieve a new high score, we will get a dopamine release. But guess what? It takes a lot less time and effort to get our dopamine fix from electronic gaming than it does from real life. So we can actually train ourselves to seek our dopamine from gaming, and that is actually what is happening when a person becomes addicted to gaming. Unfortunately, repeatedly activating the complex circuits in our brains seems to modify neural connections until these circuits respond to the mere anticipation of reward, as in Pavlovian conditioning. And that is what produces the classic symptom of craving. In a 2017 article entitled, "Is Video Game Addiction Really an Addiction?" published in the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, Mark Zastro points out something that's really important to note, and I think it's something that a lot of gamers and their family members will probably recognize. Over time, the changes in dopamine receptors and the functioning of these pathways can diminish the sense of pleasure and produce tolerance. At the same time, dopamine exposure forges changes in other brain areas such as the amygdala, and this can lead to a boost in negative emotions such as fear and stress in the drug's absence, leaving addicts seeking the drug simply to escape the pain of withdrawal. Beyond the neurological effects of gaming addiction, this addiction can be quite time-consuming, far more than most other addictions. GameQuitters.com reports that it is common for a video game addict to spend over 10 hours a day gaming, usually well into the night. Consistently directing significant amounts of time towards an endeavor that is completely unrelated to the real world will tend to derail a person from the progress that they're actually designed to be making in their real life. So a person's life won't really move forward or go in the direction that they need and want it to unless they put their time, effort, and mental energy into living and building their actual life. So even though a person might get all kinds of dopamine from gaming, it does come at a cost, and that cost can be quite substantial. Because the real cost of gaming addiction is the life that a person isn't living.
Hey, if you're thinking there's more to life than gaming, you're right! Check out some of these resources to help get your life back on track.